And what is going on? Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA podcast, number 99, the last one of the year, the final one in this show. Me and D Rose are going to be breaking down and making our picks for awards of the year, knockout of the year, submission of the year, fight of the year, and maybe D Rose is really trying to get me to do this fighter of the year. So he might have convinced me to do it, depending on what y'all want. So kind of just an open show today, giving our awards of the year, if you will. So with that being said, we appreciate each and every single one of you for stopping by today right here on the Golden Octagon. Hit that thumbs up for your boys before we get started. So let's get into it. And we are back. Number 99, D Rose, the Golden Octagon MMA podcast. 99, our 99th time, or probably a few more actually getting on here and doing this. But podcast specific, 99, dude. Our next one will be 100. So before we really get started with the podcast and everything, and you really start, we dive into the comments. How does it feel, dude? Like, did you think we would actually do it for this long, man?
No, and we actually had moments, kind of skipping and kind of not taking it as serious, and we kind of slacked off there for a little bit at one point in time, and we had just kind of got the fire back under us to kind of keep going, and just a determination for us to kind of keep it to now. So, we kind of stayed the course after we kind of, got back to it. So yeah, it's definitely been a crazy ride. And, but yeah, man, it's been fun though. It's been a blast doing the podcast and chopping up with the boys. So yeah, I've always enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, dude. I think probably the best thing for us was starting to go live, man. Going live really, I think, took us from doing it to a few people would comment here and there. But, when we come in live, people get to comment throughout the whole time. We can interact, dude. Going live really, really helped us out. So
yeah, 100%. Zoom wasn't doing it. So, and that's no shot to Zoom, but you're right. The live interaction is like once we kind of started getting that going, it really kind of started to take off from there, just as far as like our chemistry and everything. So, and making it more fun. Like I said, being able to interact with the boys in the chat and stuff like that, it's awesome to do. And, this community that you've done a good job building, a bunch of nice people in here for the most part,
for the most part. Yeah. I mean, I can't take all the credit. There's a few people here that I know came here for the podcast, dude. Like, they didn't find us because of, or maybe they found us because of cards, but they come here for the podcast, and they enjoy you just as much as they enjoy talking to me. So don't give me like all the credit, dude, because you got to pat yourself on the back just a little bit. I know a few people in the chat come to see D Rose every week. So with that being said, let's get into the chat. Matt and D Rose, the best, dude. I see. Look at that, dude. Sir. Gym card collecting. In here first today, dude. We appreciate y'all stopping by every single week, and it just feels nice winding down. Just talk about what we think what should be the awards for the end of the year should be. Yeah, Austin in here, boom shakalaka. There we go, dude. Austin in here every week, dude. A loyal one in here every single week, dude. Thank you for stopping by all year, Austin. It truly means a ton, brother. Way too pumped for this live stream. And we got the loyal Lush Low Main in here. Thank you for stopping by, Lush Low Main. I almost feel like we've been doing a few streams and we're like, damn, like, where's Lush? Like, where's Lush? But, football season is pretty popping right now, coming down to the end. So, he could be preoccupied and He's in here. He's in here. The Lush Lemaine is in here today. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Hey,
We
Lush is always
appreciate
keeping up with the picks and stuff for us, though. So
Yeah,
we always
yeah,
got
but
to shout out for that.
I don't think I think a person asked where he was at for change to cheddar for the pay-per-view, and I'm like, I have no clue because he usually asks, and then for the post fight, I don't think he was in here like either. So I was like, probably busy, probably tired. Maybe he's on another little vacation. It's kind of close to the holidays. People are traveling around the holidays, but we appreciate the loyal Lush Love Man for stopping by here, and
Yes,
thank you,
sir.
man, for keeping track of our picks this year because you deserve an award yourself, man, for being the absolute man for keeping track of whatever chaos ensues, dude. It's hard
Kind
to
of being
keep
like a
track.
shadow producer for us almost in
Yeah.
that sense, like a shadow producer, keeping those picks for us, man. Really, it
Yeah.
really helps.
Yeah, we got 5M Corey here. Appreciate you stopping by today. Hello, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. We got Twice Bakes Button here. Yo, how you doing, brother? Thanks for stopping by. We got Derek Goofrey in here. Happy holidays, everyone. And also dropping the 199 super sticker. Appreciate you, Derek Goofrey. Another one of the ones always stopping by here, donating during the podcast, during the weeks, dude. We truly appreciate that. Spending your hard-earned money over here. I'm truly thankful. It's not a ton, but it helps to add, and every little cent counts. So spending your hard-earned money over here, we truly thank you a ton, brother. Just some family stuff. I apologize to the boy. See, no need to apologize, Lush.
Oh, good.
If anything, we were like worried about you. I was like, damn, I hope he's like all right, because he usually asks about it, and then when he wasn't in here, I was like, shit, where's Lush at? I hope everything's all right. Yeah, so I hope everything's all right, Lush. Glad you're able to make it in here today, brother. But hopefully all your family stuff is taken care of, brother. We truly care about the loyal Lush Lemaine. Believe it or not, dude. Me and D Rose chat about you on the side, like, dude, Lush is the dude. Lush is the dude.
That dude, the most one of the most loyal for sure.
Yeah. Yo, dude, that belt is looking nice. Yeah. So, if you guys missed I guess this
Yes,
is
sir. Awesome.
honestly the last comment here, so it kind of leads perfectly. The belt is looking nice. So, if you guys did it, or if you guys missed the recap, me and, or I guess D Rose and myself did a UFC 296 post fight recap right after the pay-per-view this past weekend. It was super late. I did it. I really don't even remember too much of it. I just know that the last two fights weren't as exciting as anyone would have liked them to have been for the most part. Prelims were absolute fire. That was probably like it's like UFC's goal, have an absolute fire prelim card where everyone's like, dude, these fights are too good, buys the pay-per-view, and then it's an absolute I don't want to say a shit can, but it's like it's just a huge letdown for the most part. Like, it's like, hey, we already got your money now. It like, it just is what it is. But
Y'all in now, so yeah, y'all fuck it. If the fights are boring or not, we already got that crisp 80, and we're gonna keep it moving. Yeah, that's they do us dirty with these price increases. Next thing you know, next year,
dude,
we're gonna be talking about almost like $100 pay per view, dude. Dude, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Like, they keep sneaking these little $5 increases in there, like they're slick, but they man, I'm wondering if they're gonna start losing some fans, but that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah, it is what it is. What we are here for is our end of year awards, if you will. So let me show the thumbnail again real quick. Our end of year awards, our knockout of the year, submission of the year, fight of the year. D Rose has got the best hair of the year right there. It's gonna be,
if only I could grow it back that long again.
Yeah, and they announced prices were staying the same next year. Hopefully, so I guess we'll see.
For now.
Yeah,
And that
D-Rose.
means
So,
that means in 2025 we'll see the increase in.
yeah, D-Rose. So, out of those three, man, because I guess I will, depending on how long we've been on here, I'll, that's what we'll do. We'll just do the fighter of the year, male and female last. So I'll let you start, man. Or I'll let you pick, man. Where would you like to start at for our options here? Would you like to start out at our knockout of the year, our submission of the year, or our fight of the year?
Let's start with submission here.
Okay.
Let's throw a little wrench in it here. Let's start with submission.
All right. So the way me and D Rose did this, we could have just included, just those three, but we did. Well, me personally, I like to give respect to the ladies. I am a huge WMMA fan. For those of you that don't know that, that's some of the people that I cheer for the absolute loudest. You guys should have seen me screaming at my TV this past weekend during the Irene versus Carol Holsa fight. I'm surprised I have a voice right now still, dude. Like I probably woke up my next door neighbors, both sides, both houses over. They're probably like, Jesus Christ, what is wrong? Well, it probably wasn't even like that late yet. So they're probably like, what is wrong with this animal? Why is he in there screaming, dude? But that I was just screaming. I screamed for some Lupe Godinez, dude. It just is what it is.
Loopy in that live stream, yeah. Once I heard you, cheer for her like that, I was like, yeah, this is the number one Lupita Godinez fan that I know as Matt Anderson, dude. That was the way you cheering for her was crazy.
Dude, yeah, I'm a MMA fan, so I wanted to give the ladies their own little subset, their own credit. So we have male and female for our knockout of the year, fight of the year, and submission of the year. So D Rose said that he would like to start with submission of the year, and one of his favorite fighters are on here. You just getting dusted twice. So I'm kind of surprised that you went with those two, D Rose. But I'm gonna pull yours up and I'm gonna let you talk about it for just a minute, man. So yeah, I'll D Rose full screen and go for it, brother.
Yeah, so I'll start with male submission of the year. So it was in a slugfest of a fight, and it ended up just coming down to the submission, and it's Shavkat Rakhmonov against Jeff Neal. So that fight was absolutely crazy. I'll tell you that this fight was actually up for my fight of the year as well. Just to give you a little teaser there. But the reason why the submission was so impressive to me was, and I've talked about it before on the podcast, but Shavkat was not able to get Jeff Neal down by any means. Even at other points in time in that fight when Shavkat had Jeff Neal, he had Jeff Neal rocked with a head kick, and he had him rocked with a straight punch. And both times he went to go for the takedown, and he could not get Jeff Neal taken down. But that last sequence where he landed the big straight right, wobbled Jeff Neal, backed Jeff Neal up to the cage, threw a knee to the body. Jeff Neal just winced, and for Shavkat to kind of sneak in and get that rear naked choke the way he did. I'll tell you as well, that's another fight that I had Shavkat Rakhmonov in submission round 2 or 3. So might be a little bit of juice on this nominee as well. But yeah, that submission was just super impressive, just due to the fact that he was not able to take Jeff Neal down and was still able to lock it in. So I think Shavkat Rakhmonov for me gets the male submission of the year.
I like it, dude. I can't hate it. That was one of my top ones of the year. But for me, I had to dig a little bit. I know D Rose wants to know what my personal one is of the year. Like, I actually had to ask D Rose his, so I could get these little picks pulled up here. So D Rose's pick for sub of the year is Shavkat Rakhmonov over Jeff Neal, UFC 285. That happened back in March 4th, UFC 285. Yeah, so D Rose's sub of the year. So, a good one. As I said, can't hate it. Me personally, I dug just a little bit. And there was only one this year, and I'm also a fan of the grappling. And y'all know I'm a fan of the Thug Nasty Man, Bryce Mitchell. So there was only one twister this year, and it was Damon Blackshear over Jose Johnson. It was UFC Fight Night, August 12th. I think that was the Sean Strickland versus Abus Magomedov card, believe it or not. So that that is going to be my sub of the year, Damon Blackshear with the Twister City, baby, over Jose Johnson. I think that was Jose Johnson's debut too, and Damon Blackshear took this fight on, I think, a super short notice too. It was like a few days. So I got to go with Twister City, baby. Back in August, Damon Blackshear over Jose Johnson. What's your thoughts on my sub of the year, D-Rose?
I do like that. I think the Abus and Sean's fight was back in July. I believe it was July 1st.
Okay.
But
it was probably Sean Strickland headline card, because back then he was like every other week headlining.
Yeah. Well, you got to think at that point in time, he had the title fight the very next month. So but whatever. It was probably Jack or Manson headlining it, if anybody, probably Jack or Manson or Marvin Vettori. But no, I actually like that pick. It was a sneaky pick because I'm not gonna lie, I actually forgot about that submission happening this year. And like you said, one of the very few times a twister did happen, and Blackshear, I believe it was like less than a week's notice that he ended up taking the fight, and for him to go in there and do that to Jose Johnson, who's regarded as a good wrestler, that was a nasty submission he was able to lock in.
Yeah, and 5M Corey saying solid pick. That keeps the 18 wins, 18 finisher streak alive. Yeah, over one. I said over Wonder Boy, but this past weekend was over Wonder Boy, dude. And he never been finished apparently. So that's just absolutely crazy in itself, dude. So all right? So let's go ahead and go with our women's sub of the year, D-Rose. So I'll full screen you. I'll let you talk for a second, and then I'll pull it up, man.
Yeah, I think for me it came down to there were some good women's submissions, but for me I thought the one that stood out the most was Tatiana Suarez over Jessica Andrade, the guillotine that she was able to lock in, and big reasons for me as well liking this was Jessica Andrade was she's one of those fighters at 115 that she is undersized, yes, but she is an absolute tank, and you don't really necessarily throw her around like that. So Suarez, she was able to use her grappling a lot in that fight, but she was not able to kind of do what she wanted to do with Jessica Andrade. So the setup, the way she was able to get it was, she was able to kind of get that trip on Jessica Andrade, and as Jessica Andrade was, initially going to get up, she goes to lock into Darce. Locks in the Darce. Andrade rolls out of it, goes to get up again, and then as soon as she does, that's when Suarez just locks in the guillotine, falls back, and Jessica Andrade is just trying for her life to peel her head out of there. But no, she was able to, Suarez just had that death grip, was able to keep it locked in, and we have seen Andrade submitted before. But of course, seeing it happen the way it did against Suarez, how she was so slick about it, to me, that guillotine, that setup, just a persistence on her going for the submission, that for me is a submission of the year.
Fair enough, dude. So D Rose's women's submission of the year is Tatiana Suarez versus Jessica Andrade. I believe happened in UFC Fight Night in Nashville, dude. I was in the crowd for that one. Believe it or not, that was August 5th, 2023. So Tatiana Suarez guillotine over Bate Estaca, Jessica Andrade, dude. Dude, for me, there's only one pick, and someone had said it in the chat already. I didn't want to pull it up because that would, I would read it out loud, and I didn't want to reveal mine. But mine personally has to be back earlier in the year, dude. for a submission win over one of the greats, dude. Submission of the year for me for the women has to be Shevchenko versus Grasso when dude, Alexa Grasso did it, dude. UFC 285 back March 4th. Alexa Grasso choked out Valentina, or not choked her out, dude. Squeeze her head out off, dude. Like she gave a
Squeeze her
sunburn.
fucking jaw off, dude. She made
Dude.
Valentina's head. She made Valentina's head look like those fruit gushers, like on the commercial. You remember when you eat the fruit gusher and your head would turn into the fruit? Like that's
Yeah,
how
dude.
Valentina Shevchenko's face looked after that, dude. It was sick.
Dude, but made her tap, dude. Made her tap, dude. And it was just absolutely just nuts to see happen just because, everyone know I was a huge Alexa Grasso fans. And this year, dude, two of my favorites won championships. It was just, good to see one, I guess, kind of retained it with a draw at the at the end there. But it is what it is. I'll take it either way. But yeah, dude. That has to be my sub of the year for the women. That was the only one that could be just because just what it like led up to. And Austin saying Suarez is going to be champ 2024 if she gets the chance, dude. If she gets the chance, because it looks like Whaley's already kind of saying, "Hey, Alexa Grasso, you want to fight at UFC 300?" So it's like Whaley trying to
You don't want that smoke.
yeah, Whaley trying to move up, we'll see. Jim Card saying facts to Austin here. So yeah, dude. I believe Suarez could be champ 2024 if she gets the chance, dude. If she gets the chance, I believe it. So up next, D Rose, which one do you want to do? You want to do fight of the year or you want to do knockout of the year?
Let's do fight of the year.
All right, so I'll full screen you, dude, and I'll start you, dude, because we had the same women's fight here, so we'll just
Yeah,
all
should be no surprise on the women's one as well. But
right. So
for me,
yeah, I'll let you start at the men's fight of the year.
yeah, for me, there were a lot of slugfests, going back to, but for me,
Shit.
one that
My
stood
bad.
out. You're good. You're good. Yeah, one that stood out for me was Elvis Brenner versus Guram Kutateladze, and man, I actually went back and I watched this fight again, and it 110% still held up because Guram Kutateladze, he's a highly regarded fighter at 155, and I believe he was actually taking the fight on short notice, about 2.5 weeks notice.
He was,
but yeah, he was a significant favorite. I mean, Elvis Brenner was plus 500 at the start of that fight to win, and at the end of the first round was, it was pretty good, but right there towards the end of the first round, Guram hits Brenner with a nasty elbow on the fence and just slices open Elvis Brenner, hits him with another elbow and a punch, drops Elvis Brenner. The round's over. Second round starts, and they are just absolutely slugging it. And it was almost like Brenner getting knocked down, him fighting that same Charles Oliveira type style with Charles Oliveira in his corner. He just kept just marching forward, and you could see Guram just starting to his gas tank was just getting worn on because he is just landing bombs on Brenner, and Brenner's just eating them all. And in the third round, Brenner really started to break Guram, and Guram kind of had like a little late flurry, hit Brenner with a couple different elbows and hit him with a couple question mark kicks, but Brenner stands in the pocket with his red hair at this point because his head is just bleeding and blood is just going everywhere. So he had the blonde silver type hair, but it ended up turning red at the end of the fight. But lands just a big left hook, gets Guram out of there, and that fight absolutely held up for me. So that's why I had to rule it fight of the year for me on the men's side.
Yeah, dude. It was a hell of a fight, and also if like who were doing it could fall into comeback of the year too, dude, because it's just like, dude, Elvis Brenner was getting kind of the shit beat out of him the first 2 rounds of the fight and then comes back in the third just to finish off the gas Guram, dude. It was absolutely nuts to see. And then his next fight come out and like crushed the next dude pretty quick, dude. Thought he killed him. To be honest, I was like, dude, absolutely nuts. Yeah. I can't hate the pick, D Rose. Can't hate the pick. So for me, I will move on to my men's fight of the year. And I know D Rose will be a fan of it. I'm surprised you didn't pick this one. This was going to be probably your second pick if it wasn't your first. And I know you're a fan of it. You got the shirt of it when it happened. And for me, it has to be none other than the Tarantula, Jalen Turner versus Dan the Hangman Hooker, UFC 290, July 8th, dude. When the just a scratch happened, dude. When Jalen Turner absolutely demolished Dan Hooker's arm and his orbital, dude. Dude, the fight was absolutely nuts, back and forth. Jalen Turner put a molly whopping on Dan Hooker. I would say about the first round and a half, dude. But Dan Hooker started to walk forward like the dog he is. The second round and a half, dude. The second half of the fight was pretty much all Dan Hooker. Like Jalen Turner was just basically like, what is this guy made of? What do I have to hit him with to get him out of here? And dude, it's just probably one of the best fights you'll see in just a long time, dude. So yeah, my fight of the year, Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker, UFC 290, dude. Absolute barn burner. One of the best fights you'll ever see, in my opinion. I guess thoughts on my pick there, D Rose?
Yeah, as you said, I got the shirt from that moment. I mean, and the dude's an absolute savage. Dan Hooker is, and Jalen Turner, he landed that head kick because Dan Hooker's arm was already broken and he couldn't he couldn't pick his arm up to block his head. Like that's why he ended up eating the head kick full on. So just for him to be as gritty as he was to get back into that fight, rock Jalen Turner at the end of the second, nearly finish him with the rear naked choke. And then they're in that third round. To me, I think the reason why it didn't hold up as fight of the year, because I think in the Brenner and Guram, it was a little bit more in the second and third round, it was a lot more back and forth, where I thought there in the third round, I thought Jalen Turner was just absolutely gassed and Dan Hooker really just took over from that point. So I don't think in the third round it was as competitive as Brenner and Guram was, but that's definitely one of my fights of the year for sure.
All right, fair enough. So D-Rose don't hate the pick. So I'll let you start off with talking about our fight of the year for the women. It should be fresh in everyone's mind. So I'll go ahead and get it pulled up here, D-Rose.
Yeah. We had even we'd even mentioned it on the post fight this past weekend, that if guys had stuck around and listened to the stream, and if I'm being honest, and we didn't talk about this, but I think this fight probably made you consider doing a women's category, because you was like, man, there's no way I could leave this fight out for a fight of the year, because just the way they stood in there and just absolutely scrapped. I mean, and we had even said that, I said that Carol Hodzic, she's got some good power too, so Adana's got to be careful, but they stood in there and just absolutely slugged it out, and Aldana eating the leg kicks that she did. And I mean, that was like the absolute textbook way of, if you do not know how to check a leg kick, how to defend it, and that's just to get in the person's face and just slug it out with them. Like, you're just going to have to just get in their face and get in their space and not allowing them to have the space to throw those kicks. So in the second and third round, they both just bit down and slugged it out. So I know Irene is your girl, so I know you was going absolutely nuts watching the fight.
Dude, yeah, I was screaming, dude. Like, my neighbors were probably like, what the hell is wrong with this psychopath? It's like 8:00 at night and he's screaming at the top of his lungs. Dude, I don't know why. I just can't help it, dude. That was,
he's screaming. Do you have are you feeding her?
Do you have the Mexican spirit? I was like shaking my girlfriend. Are you feeding her the Mexican spirit? She has the Mexican spirit. Yeah, the way to like defend against leg kicks if you don't know how to check them, have the Mexican spirit. You know, it's
Yeah,
just that's what it
just,
takes.
just that Mexican mentality, dude.
Yeah, dude. So our mine and D Rose's women's fight of the year happened this past weekend, UFC 296, December 16th. Carol Hossa taking on Irina Aldana, where Irina Aldana does get the dub at the end of the night. Thankfully, dude, it was way closer than I would have liked that fight to be because Irina was like a 2-1 favorite, dude. It's like Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, no, it was definitely rough because at the beginning of the fight, because I did place a little straight bet on Irene. I messaged you and I was like, dude, she has never checked a leg kick before. Like, what is going on? And then for her to just really bite down and just kind of just say, fuck it, like I can't check them, so I'm just going to sit here and just keep punching her in the face and body until she stops.
Yeah, dude. It just is what it is, dude. Volkanovski versus Makhachev could have won fight of the year as well. Yeah, dude. That was a back and forth as well, dude. All 5 rounds. Can't hate that. Can't hate that, dude. So
Yeah.
I guess the Rose, we only have one left, our knockout of the year, and one of these are the same as well. Our men's is the same, and I feel like it's probably going to be everyone's knockout of the year, dude. Just how it happened, everything that led up to it, the celebration at the end. It was none other than UFC 287 back in April. Israel, the last style bender, Adesanya, defeated Alex Pereira for finally the first time. Knocked him out cold, dude. Then shot the arrows into him, dude. I know this was such a big moment for Izzy, dude. I know, like, Alex just kept beating him, dude. Came to MMA just to beat him again, dude. It was just finally, Izzy finally got that payback, dude. I don't think Izzy will ever fight Alex again, dude. I don't think he needs to, just because, finally beat him. What's the point in fighting him again, especially up at 205, dude, when it's going to be even harder to knock out, man. But mine and your fight of the year, Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya, UFC 287, April 8th. I'll let you talk about this for just a moment, D-Rose.
Yeah, so that was just an absolutely incredible moment. And as most of y'all know, Izzy is my favorite fighter. So, just seeing that when it happened, I think it was really just the whole lead up to it was, Izzy was the champ. Alex came in, obviously beating him in kickboxing before, beating Izzy this time in MMA and taking the title from him in dramatic fashion in the 5th round. And if you watch that fight, like the second MMA fight leading up to the Izzy knockout, like Izzy was getting diced. Like his leg was getting crushed. Alex Pereira was full on going in there for the kill. And one thing I will give Izzy credit for, when he came out with the dog chain around his neck, or the dog leash around his neck, saying that, he's ready to let that dog loose. He was actually going in there with a mentality that he was ready to die for that, for that finish. And I'm not going to say that he absolutely baited Alex Pereira into the finish, but he definitely knew what he was doing when, Izzy knew what he was doing when he kind of shut up against the fence and was waiting for Alex to kind of throw that left hook to leave himself open so Izzy can crack him with the right hand. And just an absolute beautiful setup. As you said, the celebration afterwards was just, I still get cold chills when I see the celebration, because it was just an absolute cold-blooded moment. And
Even
for
when
me,
Onama did it, dude, like cold chill.
yeah, like the biggest fucking dork in the world, and just absolutely tried to ruin it and said, "Oh yeah, because I knocked out a Brazilian too, you big dork." And I like watching Onama fight too, but that was so corny, it was unreal. But yeah, for Izzy to do it, yeah, that was it was absolutely badass. Had a lot of meaning behind it, unlike Onama just copying somebody. And yeah, that was no brainer for knockout of the year for me.
Jim Carr saying said, and Twice Baked Spud saying Leon hands down. Yeah, Leon was also a fantastic knockout. Also, could have been comeback of the year too, dude, because he was just getting just
Wait,
demolished.
that was last year.
Was it last
Over
year?
Usman? Yeah, that was August of
I
last year.
guess so. Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
because him and Usman fought the third time they fought. It was back in March, and then he just fought. So yeah, that was. I know the fights they come together so quick, but yeah, that was definitely last year.
Okay. Well, I guess that's why we didn't do that, and it wasn't even an option. Yeah. Yeah, dude. So that was mine and your knockout of the year. So I will let you start off with your women's knockout of the year, D Rose.
Mine was tough, and
Your girl getting demolished for the second time on
yeah,
on here, D
yeah.
Rose.
I keep doing it to her, man. I keep doing it to her, but yeah, Jessica Andrade when she fought Yan Xiaonan, what was it 280 288? Okay, yeah, it was 288 back in May, and I think you can
You're like just
see.
a picture.
Like, yes, dude. Like, just look at Andrade's face. So you could just see the punches land full on. Andrade was just doing her normal, just trying to just jump in the range, just throwing those hooks like crazy. Yan Xiaonan was using a lot of her footwork and was keeping Andrade on the outside. And as soon as Andrade kind of went in there, was just winging hooks. Yan Xiaonan just set her up beautifully, just threw that right hand down the middle. Didn't even need any follow up. Andrade just fell straight on her face afterwards. And, again, to finish Andrade like that, we've seen her submitted, but we hadn't seen her get full fledged, like knocked out like that. So, for her to actually get, hurt and knocked out like that, that goes to show that was just a perfect counter punch that Yan Xiaonan landed on her. And that actually won me the pick champ that week as well. Was picking Yan Xiaonan that week as well. So, and I believe she actually won me a little bet as well. So, that I had a little bit of bias in that as well. But yeah, definitely Yan Xiaonan, that big punch that was knockout of the year for the women's side for me.
Yeah, dude. I couldn't have picked my nose that night, dude. That was also the same night that Drew Dober got demolished by Steamroller too, dude. But I was like, no one's going punch for punch with with Drew Dober in the UFC, and then Drew Dober just gets flatlined by the Steamroller, dude. It's just like MMA, dude. Like at any point, one punch can end it all, dude. You never really know, dude. A kick, an eye poke, a dirty judge. You never really know, dude. So D Rose's women's knockout of the year is going to be Yan Xiaonan knocking out Jessica Andrade, UFC 288, May 6th. Just absolutely demolishing her, dude. Mine, I will say, does have a little bit of bias in there as well, because I feel like the whole week of this fight, I was telling people, hey, she's going to get knocked out. And if she was a huge dog, and it is Denise Gomes knocking out Yasmin Haregi, dude. You like 10 seconds into the fight, dude. UFC 290, July 8th, dude. UFC 290 is on here a lot for me, dude. July 8th. Just Denise Gomes just absolutely cracks Yasmin Haregi, dude, puts her down, and then just hits her with the few on the fence, dude, and just announces herself really in this division, dude. She's basically a younger Jessica Andrade, dude. If you don't have a solid game plan to really beat her, dude, she's gonna walk forward for all 3 rounds and throw heat at your face. And if you don't have the chin to absorb the power that she's throwing at you, dude, you're going to get knocked out. She's just knocking these girls out over and over. She kind of got outclassed against Angie Hill in her last one, got taught a veteran lesson. But, it has to happen at some point. I'm glad it happened to Angie Overkill than to some other, bum female that no one likes at all, dude. So I'm excited for Denise Gomes this next few years, dude. She's got some power. As I said, basically like the younger Jessica Andrade, dude. I guess thoughts on that one?
Yeah, that was definitely one of them that I was looking at. And as you had stated, I shared my picks with you before, and I don't know your picks, so I'm kind of sitting here digesting it for the first time. I had an inkling that you were going to go that way, which is what made me go Yan Xiaonan and Andrade. Well, plus again, I had a bet on that one as well. So, but yeah, I had a feeling you were going to go that way, but it was an absolutely brutal knockout. And I remember was it Joe Rogan? Now I'm sitting here calling off the top of my head. That was like, yeah, that was kind of an early stoppage, and it was like, yeah, she was only like her brain is only on the other side of her head, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Early stoppage? Like, it's absolutely crazy. She had no awareness of where she was at whatsoever. But they were talking about early stoppage. Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, a few honorable mentions, as mentioned in the chat a few minutes ago. Volk getting KO'd by Islam was honorable mention too. Yeah, I just kind of feel bad for like Volk. Took the fight super short notice. And I just hate to see it. That wasn't one of my favorites. Of the
year. It was hard to see. It was definitely. It was 100% hard to digest, dude.
Yeah, and honestly, the one this past weekend too, dude, Josh Emmett against Bryce Mitchell, dude. It's like that was hard to see too, dude. But that was probably one of the nastiest ones of the year too, dude. Just
one of the nastiest ones ever. Not even of the year, like ever, dude. For him, the way that he landed it and just like the way Mitchell felt, because I was going to go that one just because I figured we would all go Izzy here, but again, Izzy everything leading into it was obvious that was it. But dude, as far as like what's going to be on highlight reels for years to come, you're going to see this Josh Emmett versus Bryce Mitchell KO. You're going to see this on UFC highlight reels in 20, 30 years from now. It was one of those types of knockouts.
Yeah, man. But just a few honorable mentions as well. That's all that I have. But right before D-Rose convinced me that we should do fighters of the year, so I don't have any pictures like that, but I guess one of mine actually, well, yeah, not one of I have pictures of both of them, but one of them is getting brutally KO'd. Yeah, I have a picture of my women's fighter of the year, but it is what it is. So D-Rose, I'll let you start, dude. Do you want to do women's or men's first, and I'll just let you talk.
Yeah, I'll start with women's fighter of the year. I would say I know I've already kind of talked about her. I've already kind of talked about her until this point, but there's a lot kind of going into it because the champs weren't as active. Wei Li, I think did she fight once this year? I know Grasso's kind of she's had some moments. Bantamweight's vacant right now. So no champ really kind of put their dominant stamp on it for me. But I think for me, Tatiana Suarez is my women's fighter of the year. And I think for her coming off of her injuries, the layoff, she ended up having, I believe she had another form of cancer again. So she's gone through, every type of obstacle possible that's in her way. And for her to come back to 125 and fight Montana De La Rosa, who people might not know that name first off, but Montana De La Rosa is a very talented grappler, and she's strong, a good wrestler, so she's not easy to throw around. And Suarez was able to submit her, and then for her to, again, like I said, move down to 115, and Andrade is, we know how tough Andrade is, and for her to be able to submit Andrade the way she did down at 115. I think Suarez really cemented her chance as far as being the next title challenger. It could potentially be Yan Xiaonan next and then Suarez, but I think for Suarez to have the time off that she's had, the layoff that she had, for her to come back and go 2-0 this year with 2 finishes, for me, Tatiana Suarez is my women's fighter of the year.
All right, fair enough. I don't hate it, but I have my own reasons for going mine. Happy holidays, boys. All the best to you and your family and friends, Matt. When you want to pop the question, hit me up. I appreciate it, Papa Chuck. Eventually, dude. It's good to have a friend in the Joy Bridge. Austin saying, "Don't pressure, Matt." Exactly.
Hey, no pressure. No pressure.
Leon has to be it for for this. Don't let him bully his son, bro. That was last year though. That was in 2020. That was in 2022. But twice makes fun. So
We're
Leon
not
can't be
doing
no.
the awards for 2022. We're doing
Yeah,
it for 2023.
yeah, we're doing the awards for 2023. Twice makes fun. All right, so my women's fighter of the year, dude, has to be again none other than Alexa Grasso, dude. She defeated, or I guess she won. She beat Valentina earlier this year, March 4th. Submitted her, obviously right here in my women's sub of the year, and then at UFC Noche, dude, defended her belt against Valentina. It was a draw, could have gone either way. Super close fight. I was really hoping that Alexa got it done. Would have hit a crazy bet on that. But my women's fighter of the year, Alexa Grasso, dude, defeating like Valentina, clearly, dude, finishing her, and then like defending against her again, and then once again, it looks like Whaley might want to move up to defend against or to fight Alexa Grasso, so that might be her chance at the inner between the like divisions there, because she used to fight like 115 as well, so that would be an interesting fight, dude. I don't think she was big enough to fight 135, but she could maybe make 115 again, and I don't know. But Alexa Grasso is my women's fighter of the year. Twice Bakes Blood for fighter of the year. But I guess why would he be fighter of the year? Because he beat Usman and Colby. Yeah, but I mean,
but the knockout was the knockout one was last year. That's what we were saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's
I mean, I guess he's just a huge Leon Edwards fan. But with that being said, D-Rose, who is your male fighter of the year, man?
Yeah, for me, and I mentioned it also in the post fight pod this past weekend, but for me, I think it's no other than Sean Strickland. I think for him, the way he kind of set himself up this year, when I remember they had started rolling the fight announcements around March or so. And I remember Sean Strickland going on Twitter and saying, "Hey, I'm going to have a fight against somebody who you guys might not know, but I'm just doing it just to stay busy." And the UFC is basically telling me to fight this guy. He ends up taking the fight against Abus Magomedov, who we're like, "Who the fuck is this dude?" And Izzy has a fight in September because the UFC has the pay-per-view booked in Sydney at that point. So Sean Strickland ends up getting the chance against Abus, knocks him out. And then we think, well, hey, it's probably going to be the winner between Dricus and Robert Whitaker. Well, Dricus ends up knocking out Robert Whitaker and then cannot make the fight. So Sean Strickland is up next. So Sean Strickland comes off the knockout from Abus, and then is able to defeat one of the greatest fighters in UFC history, and probably was the beginning of the end of our ladder. The ladder bet that we were doing, Sean Strickland kind of started the downfall of that. And yeah, Sean Strickland then to end off the year with beating Dricus Du Plessis as well. So I mean, yeah, Sean Strickland has just had a hell of a year. And I think for people who weren't as big of a fan of him before he became champ, he's had this recent glow up that people have just all of a sudden just became the biggest Sean Strickland fan out of nowhere overnight. I've noticed a lot of fans hitting me up like, "Hey, Sean Strickland, he might be an idiot, but that's my guy," or because people just love his attitude. So, but yeah, I think for me, Sean Strickland is the male fighter of the year.
All right, fair enough. 5M Corey saying Kevin Holland, in my opinion. All right, fair enough. My fighter of the year has to be none other than I don't know if I have I don't have one here. Alex Tom Pereira, dude. I mean, I think this year was him leaving 185, going up to 205, winning another championship up at 205, something that that Izzy tried to do, but Alex showed that he can do it, dude. Moved up to 205, won his second champion. Joined the ranks of not a ton, dude, of being a double. I guess not simultaneous, like a double champ, but a double champ, dude. So Alex Polton Pereira is my male fighter of the year, moving up from 185 to 205, winning the 205 pound, light heavyweight championship. Yeah, dude, it's just absolutely nuts. Defeating one of my favorite fighters, doing it in Yuri Prochazka, dude. I hated to see it because I just really wanted Yuri to win, dude. But how can you go against him, dude? He's just an animal. So stoic, so interesting of a guy, Shama. Just that's the only thing he says.
Yeah, and the way he kind of ran with the persona too, with him like holding like the stone head and stuff like that as well. I've really liked how he's kind of like embraced this almost hitman ogre type role that MMA fans kind of keep him within. And yeah, although he did have the loss to Izzy earlier this year, as you said, rebounded the way he did. For this, I can understand Twice Baked Spud's argument for saying potentially Leon. I think maybe the fight this past weekend might have had a little bit to do with it. Well, and let's be honest, that third Usman fight, although he did beat two of the best fighters in that division, and one of them the greatest champs in that division, neither of the fights were entertaining. So, I mean, some of that does have part to do with it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there, man. But yeah, D Rose's male fighter of the year, Sean Strickland. My male fighter of the year has to be Polton, Alex Pereira. Both champions now, D Rose. Sean Strickland came out of absolute nowhere to win a championship, and Alex Pereira went from the 185-pound championship earlier this year to the 205-pound championship, or to the 205-pound champion at the end of the year, dude. Absolutely nuts the way this sport happens, dude. But yeah, man, this year as a whole, 2023 was a good one. Two of my favorite fighters won championships this year, none other than the Sugar Show, Sean O'Malley. That was almost my knockout of the year, just because I'm the biggest Sean O'Malley fan, and clearly I was so happy when it happened that night, dude. And
that was a big moment. Like, that was a big moment in the sport. Like, a lot of people were clamoring for that after that one as well. So I couldn't have been mad at you if you had chose that.
Yeah, dude. But it just wasn't. I think it wasn't as clean. It was a big moment, but I just think if he would have knocked him out cold, I think maybe like if he would have knocked him out like Josh.
Oh, he knocked him out cold. Yeah,
that would have been my knockout of the year. But yeah, dude, Sean O'Malley, Sean O'Malley winning the championship was a big moment this year. Alexa Grasso winning the championship was a big moment like this year, dude. Tons of huge moments like this year, dude. It's been a good year, D Rose. It's been a good year. Usman and Colby, but dominant. Okay, D Rose. All right, yeah, dude. But 2023 UFC as a whole, man.
Yeah, no, it was an awesome year, dude, and I will say, like, it wasn't the strongest year for the UFC. Just we did have some mix of those Apex cards. That we come in from time to time and we're like, dude, we're really getting this fight this weekend or something like that. So I really hope going into next year that the UFC really does. And I understand, look, cost wise, fighting in the Apex, it's a lot better beneficially for them to fight there than it is, fighting at these random shows and stadiums that they got to book and everything. But just as far as getting the crowd involved, man, I miss the arenas every weekend. I really hope they could put an emphasis on that to, kind of add more juice to these shows, because I think sometimes the Apex getting lost in the not the silence, because I know they're inviting people out, but yeah, getting the show out on the road, man, getting the crowd involved, getting a lot more juice involved in these fights, more than just the awkward silence in the Apex.
Yeah, man, I have to agree, and I'm actually glad that you brought that up because it got announced that there's going to be a UFC fight night in Atlantic City in March, dude, and that's right before like the Sean O'Malley like the Miami thing. But so I was like kind of thinking, I'm like, well, I definitely can't afford to go to like the Miami for like UFC 299. That's going to be way too way too expensive, dude. But Atlantic City is a 5-hour drive from me right now, dude. So that's basically, driving across the state to hang out with old D Rose. So UFC Atlantic City, that might be something that I may be attending here on the East Coast. And they've already got a fight announced for that card. And guess who? Guess who it is, D Rose? I know it's Loopy versus someone. I don't think it's like the main event, but it's Luffy Godinez is fighting on the card again, dude.
Who is she fighting?
Here I'll try to pull it up.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you had the
Nah.
I thought you had the fight pulled off the off top of your head. I'm surprised that they're well. I guess I shouldn't say too surprised with some of the fight announcements. Because they already announced like a buttload.
Oh, Verna Jandiroba versus Lupe Godinez. That's going to be UFC March 30th in Atlantic City.
Okay. Yeah. No. When is the O'Malley fight?
That is March. Here, I'll tell you. It's
like early March. Yeah, it's like early March. Yeah, somewhere around there. So yeah, because that Miami card, they had
it's
the announcement.
March 9th. Yeah, March 9th.
Yeah, they had the announcement for all those fights with from Miami. So the cards next year that are they're stacking up to be some good cards, man. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited for this Strickland and the Strickland and Dricus fight too. I was already excited before, but now they've already kind of added juice to it. So I think the UFC is going to come out strong next year, and I'm definitely going to be excited for to be back here doing the pod and reviewing some badass fights coming up next year.
Hell yeah, dude. I wish they'd at least get a couple hundred people in the Apex for every event. Even though you get to hear some crowd noise, it would be nice. Yeah, dude. I would love to go to an Apex fight. I just wish it wasn't $1,500 to $2,000 per ticket, dude. And it's like the fights aren't even good. It's like if the fights, it's like if they were like maybe like 500 per ticket, I would entertain it just due to like the exclusivity of no one kind of really being in there, but you could kind of be in there. I could maybe justify it. I'd do a little video tour, me walking in and stuff, because not a lot of people get to see the inside of the Apex and stuff. So, that'd be something I would love to do, but it's just so much money. Maybe
I'm also not spending that much money to go and watch Dan Ige versus Mazar Evloev and Apex.
Yeah, I was gonna say Holly Holm versus Myra Buena Silva.
yeah, I'm not going and watching those. I'm not going and watching those. They're paying that much to watch that fight. No, not at all.
5M Corey saying I missed the completely silent Apex Code. There's just no one in there. You just hear.
No, I know when it first started, I was a big fan of it because I was like, oh man, it's badass. It's intimate because you get to hear the coaches and blah 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 and the commentators. But yeah, it's definitely ran its course for me at this point.
Yeah, I just know it's like when it's an Apex card, it's going to be just not a good fight card. That's what, like, I don't mind the Apex. I just know that the fights are always going to be most likely just terrible when they're at the Apex. Like the UFC's like, you know what? Ain't nobody paying for this card. Let's put it at the Apex. That's kind of what it's like. Merry Xmas, you guys. Have a great holiday. Hope to see you in the new year. Merry Xmas to the chat too. Thank you, Twice Baked Spud. And we appreciate you stopping by here this year, man. And we'll be back again early next year for the first fight card of the year. We might get back a week sooner just to like preview, some of our, predictions for the year, kind of like this. We like wrapping up the end of the year. We might come back a week earlier, give our, predictions for the year, who we think might be the champions at the end of the year, throughout the year, things like that. That's always super fun. And, the chat, loves to hear hear our thoughts. And maybe we will pick Leon Rocky Edwards for you at that point. Twice makes fun.
Leon can't catch no wins over here.
Yeah. Gotta crash 3 a.m. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he is definitely over there across the pond. We appreciate you stopping by here today, brother. Truly, man.
Yes, sir.
But
definitely a Leon fan. Now I understand. Now I understand why. Yeah, now I understand. Big Leon fan.
Yeah, man. But D-Rose, we've been on here about an hour, man, wrapping up 2023 as a whole. Anything else, dude?
No, just again another awesome year, and just blessed to be able to see this time and and enjoying it with the family and everything. So happy holidays to the chat. Merry Christmas to you all, and yeah, we'll see you guys next year, and we're gonna hit this thing hard.
Yeah, Austin. What do you guys want most for Christmas? Interesting, D-Rose.
What do I want most for Christmas? Well, right now, I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to want to get a new laptop because my Chromebook, I broke my screen. And so it's working right now because obviously, I have a camera and stuff set up. But my Chromebook is going absolutely nuts. Like I keep having to like jump up and repair it because it's touch screen, obviously. And I busted my screen on it. And yeah, it's kind of spazzing out. So right now, I could definitely use a new laptop.
All right, fair enough. Me personally, what I want for Christmas is to hit one of these solid parlays next year. If like just give me the chance this upcoming year at some point throughout the year. Let me hit one of these like $5 to win 10 grand. That's just all I want. Just hopefully I can just be lucky enough this upcoming year to hit just a nice parlay. But yeah, this upcoming year got a lot of changes to the channel. The membership is coming up. We are going to have merch this upcoming year. We will have member exclusive change to chatters. Will be every single Fight Week Friday. D-Rose, you can join me, as always if you want. But they will be members only for the fight nights, and they will be on the regular channel as always for the pay-per-view. Yeah, just some changes this upcoming year. And thanks both of you guys. Yeah, good night, brother. Hopefully you have hopefully you get a solid sleep. So someone in the chat buy D-Rose a new MacBook with that M3 chip. Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. Somebody hooked D-Rose up with a new laptop. Matt's most wanted thing is the Gen. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, exactly. I just want to hit a solid parlay, dude. Nah, I've got some things in the work, Austin, and I'm just I've pretty much got everything that I need, dude. I don't really need a whole lot, dude. I'm in a good spot, so I'm just happy where things are at. I'm just hoping that I can get everyone around me the things that they want, and make sure they have a good Christmas. I'm just that guy. I'm not really one that wants really things for myself too often. I just I'm here every single week opening cards. That's enough money that I spend already. So I don't need anyone else to like buy me anything else, just because it's absolutely nuts. But I don't. Yeah, I just just hope for a good year next year for the most part. I just want to be healthy. Yeah, that is a good thing to wish for. Is it?
Yes,
Shadow. Yeah, just be healthy, man. David Zamora, Matt, give us a tattoo tour. I am not going to do that, dude. I am not going to do that. That would take a lot of time. Maybe on my personal channel, if you are following me on my personal channel, it's got a mean 11 subscribers. So feel free to want to find that if you can. But yeah, that being said, yeah, I don't really have anything else. Once again, we appreciate all y'all for hanging out with us this entire year. And, you know, we'll be here next year as well. It is the holiday season. So I truly hope everyone out there watching this right now has a happy holidays. You all stay healthy. You all get what you want for Christmas. You know, if that's what you celebrate, you know, if you exchange gifts, hopefully you get everything that you want. And if not, you know, it's the thought that counts at the end of the day. But with that being said, my name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen. And yeah, we hope everyone has a happy holidays, and we'll catch y'all next year. With that being said, peace.
We out.